There was a woman who had something she was excited about. It wasn't small to her, even if it sounded small to someone else. It was an idea, a possibility, something that made her sit up a little straighter when she talked about it. So she shared it with somebody she loved, not because she needed approval, but because sharing joy had always been a part of how she loved. When she spoke, she expected maybe not celebration, but at least a moment of pause, a question, a soft, tell me more. But instead, the response came quickly, I hate you. It was said lightly, maybe even jokingly, but the words didn't land lightly. They didn't float past her, they stayed. Later, the woman told herself, they didn't mean it like that. They were just joking. Don't take it so seriously. But something in her body didn't agree because this hadn't been the first moment. There had been other times, times when she shared parts of her day and the conversation moved on without her, times when she had really listened for long stretches and noticed there was no return, no reciprocity. There was no, how was your day? What have you been up to? Not because the other person was unkind, but because they were centered in their own world, in their own rhythm, in their own way of relating. And for a long time, the woman adjusted. She filled in the gaps, offered more, carried the weight of the conversation so the conversation would not drop. But on that day, something shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, just clearly. She noticed the pattern, and this time she did not explain it away. Later that evening, after a full day of being out in the world, moving through art, through music, moving through small moments that were actually very beautiful, her head began to ache. Maybe it had been the scents in the museum. Maybe it was that she hadn't eaten. Maybe it had just been a long day. She tried to rest, tried to settle into something soft, but underneath it was that quiet disappointment, not just about the words, but what the words revealed. She went to sleep earlier than expected, before the day had fully closed, and in that sleep, something else settled in. Not anger, not resentment, just a realization. There are some people who will not meet you in the way that you meet them. Not because they don't love you, but because they do not show up in love in that way. And once you see that, you have a choice. You can keep offering from the hope that something will change, or you can begin to adjust, not your heart, but your expectations. The next day, the woman didn't wake up with a plan to confront or to withdraw. She woke up with something quieter than that, discernment. She would still love, she would still laugh, she would still answer the phone, but she would no longer bring the things she was truly excited about to a space that did not know how to hold it. She would no longer wait for a response to confirm her joy. And in that small shift, something returned to her. Her energy, her attention, her centeredness. The idea she had shared was good. It was still alive and it was still hers. It had never needed permission to exist, and now neither did she.